All right, bet. I'm gonna see y'all later then.
See you later.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. We might got a dip, bro.
What's the entrance?
How's your waist? How's your lower back? How's your lower back? You need a belt?
No belt, no belt. No, I don't need a belt. I don't need nothing. No. Chat, we gonna make him run, bro. We gonna make him run.
Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today you will be learning real life English along with pronunciation with IShowSpeed, the biggest streamer in the world. Today we'll be watching his IRL Poland stream and breaking down the most interesting and educational language moments so you can learn how to understand and speak like IShowSpeed. Now before we dive deep with the language breakdown, I want to point out what kind of English Speed is using. Speed's English is heavily influenced by AAVE, African American Vernacular English, a specific dialect of English predominantly used by African Americans. Think Travis Scott, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Tiger Woods, Jay-Z, all of these figures. These are African Americans. And they use a specific type of English that comes with its own pronunciation, grammar rules, and vocabulary, which we will be looking at under a microscope today with IShowSpeed.
Why are you crying?
Scared of you.
He's scared.
Why are you crying?
Why are you crying?
I want to start with this phrase because it's particularly interesting. In standard English, we would say, why is he crying? Why is he crying? But Speed says, why are you crying?
Why are you crying?
This is a typical non-standard English phrase, and it's actually a technique that is very popular amongst African American speakers, and it's the intentional dropping of the be verb. So the be verb here is. Why is he crying? But they drop it, and that is called ellipsis. So you can intentionally remove that is from why is he crying, and you are left with why he crying. And that is a very common non-standard English feature. We might hear it in a sentence like, why are you mad? Why are you mad? Rather than why are you mad, drop the be. Why are you mad? And now I want to show you more examples of Speed doing the exact same thing and dropping that be verb using that ellipsis.
Chat, hey, chat. We back in the pose. We back in the pose, me.
Same story. We back in the polls. I think he's trying to say we are back in Poland. But notice, once again, he drops the be. He doesn't say we are back in the polls. He says we back.
We back in the pose.
So that's another example of dropping that be in the present tense, dropping that is, dropping the are. With similar examples, you might say to someone, we ready. All right, we ready. We are ready. But you just drop the are. We ready. Or you might hear someone say, we almost there. Rather than we are almost there. We almost there.
Later we play football.
You a footballer?
Yeah, I play with Lewandowski, bro. I'm
Pushka.
For real, you play Robert Lewandowski?
Yeah, I'm pro football.
Boom. Same thing here again. You a footballer? You a footballer?
You a footballer?
He's really saying, oh, you are a footballer. You're a footballer. You're a footballer, but he doesn't say you're, he doesn't say you are, he just says you. You a footballer?
You a footballer?
Yeah.
Once again, he's just dropping the verb to be. So this specific technique of dropping the be verb, whether it's is or are, is very common in Speed's speech. He does this all the time when you watch his streams.
Hell yeah.
We'll play with him later.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. All right, bet. All right, bet. I'm gonna see y'all later then.
See you later, bro.
Bye.
Damn.
We've got a lot going on here actually. Let's start with alright bet. Alright bet. Bet is just a slang expression that means alright, okay, let's do it, cool, stuff like that. Hey, you wanna go play basketball at 5 o'clock? Bet. bet. You're basically agreeing. You're saying, cool, let's do it. Sounds good.
We'll play with him later.
All right, bet.
So they say to Speed, oh, we're going to play football later. We're going to kick ball. And he's like, I bet. Cool, sounds good. Let's do it. He's agreeing. Bet. And then he says,
All right, bet. I'm going to see y'all later then.
I'ma see y'all later then. I'ma see y'all later then. There's a lot going on there. Let's start with the I'ma. I'ma is essentially short for I'm going to see you later then. That is the origin of the phrase, but you can really shorten that down from I am going to I'm gonna, and you can even reduce I'm gonna to I'ma.
I'm going to see y'all later then.
So instead of saying I'm gonna be there, you can just say I'ma be there. Alright, I'ma be there. I'ma be there. Like Speed, instead of saying I'm going to see you later, I'ma see you later. I'ma see you later. But notice Speed also uses y'all.
I'm going to see y'all later then.
I'ma see y'all later then. I'ma see y'all later then. Y'all is also a common pronoun in African American vernacular English. However, it actually comes from the South, Texas, Alabama, stuff like that. And y'all is essentially the pronoun you use for a group of people. It's like saying you all. I will see you all later then. But instead of saying you all, we say y'all.
I'm going to see y'all later then.
If a group of people are looking at you, you might say, what y'all looking at? What y'all?
Cool out. We're going left. Watch out for the
I ain't going to lie, bro. We might got a dip, bro.
What's the entrance?
I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't going to lie, bro. We might got a...
Instead of saying, I am not going to lie, we can use ain't as a substitute for the negative verb of be. So instead of saying, I am not, you can just say, I ain't. So Speed says, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not going to lie. We might be got a dip.
I ain't going to lie, bro. We might got a dip, bro.
Essentially, he's saying, I'm not going to lie. We might have to leave. We might have to get out of here. Dip is slang for leave. If you're at a party that you're not enjoying, you might say, hey, let's dip. Instead of saying, I'm not a fan of McDonald's, you say, I ain't a fan. I ain't a fan of McDonald's.
Bro, let's just hop it. Let's hop it. We hopping it. Let's hop it.
This way. Darren Watkins.
Nah, Chad, we hopping this.
Darren
What?
This might not be obvious to non-native English speakers, but to all natives, I think it will be. This is not some crazy slang, but when we say hop something, we are usually talking about jumping over a wall or a fence. And right now he wants to get to the football pitch, so he's just saying, hey, let's jump over this fence, let's jump over it, let's hop it. Yeah, let's hop it. You can hop a fence. In English, we hop a fence. We hop something, jump over it, right? If you're playing football and your ball gets stuck in someone's garden or backyard, you might say, hey, you hop the fence, hop it. Go get the ball, hop it and go get the ball.
And I'm looking forward to have another one in the next one. So
Oh, you are?
if you want to hop on a feature, you've just been invited.
Yeah, hell yeah. We can hop in the stew. No. That.
Boom, so here the Polish rapper Mata is inviting Speed to jump on a feature and do a song together, essentially. And Speed, he likes the idea. He's like, hell yeah, we can hop in the stew. We can hop in the stew. What does that mean? The stew is slang for the studio. Where do you record music? Where do you make music? In a studio. So he's like, yeah, sounds good. We can hop in the stew.
We can hop in the stew.
We can hop in the stew. So we can get in the studio. We can get in the studio and make some music. We can hop in the stew.
How's your waist? How's your lower back? How's your lower back? You need a belt?
No belt. No, I don't need a belt. I don't need nothing. No.
Boom. Obviously, when we read English textbooks, when we go to English class at school, the teacher says very clearly, don't use double negatives. In English, you are not allowed to use double negatives. You're supposed to say, I don't need anything. But here, clearly, Speed defies that rule. He breaks that rule and he says, I don't need nothing.
No, I don't need a belt. I don't need nothing.
I don't need nothing. I don't, -1, need nothing. -2. So that's a double negative. So Speed is breaking the rules of English. But this is very common for English native speakers. And it's also very common in AAVE, African American English. And so Speed gives us a perfect example of that.
No, I don't need a belt. I don't need nothing.
I don't need nothing. Rather than I don't need anything, I don't need nothing. And that is super normal. I do that all the time when I speak. You go to England, people do that. You go to America, people use double negatives. So English textbooks say one thing, but in reality, instead of saying, I don't know anybody here, you might say, I don't know nobody here. Instead of saying, I didn't see anything, you might say, I didn't see nothing.
Who was it? I think this kid, he said he wants to do 40 sprints. So when y'all practice today, make sure he runs the most. Okay. Make sure he like 3 40-yard sprints max. And since you want to play, okay? All right, coach?
3 40-yard sprints. 3 40-yard sprints. This might be confusing to European ears, but remember, Americans use the imperial system, where we use meters, they use yards. Where we use centimeters and meters, they might use feet and inches. So all Speed is saying here is 40-yard sprints. 40-yard sprints. This is when you're running, you're sprinting, but the distance is 40 yards, which is actually about 40 meters. But yeah, Speed is saying to the coach of this kid, hey, make him run today. Make him do 40-yard sprints. Make him do 40-meter runs, basically, as punishment.
And since you want to play, okay? All right, coach? Chat, we gonna make him run, bro. We gonna make him run.
Loren, you remember you cut my
We gonna make him.
Boom. Continuing with this scene, he says, we gon' make him run. What type of grammar is that? You won't really find that in a textbook. We gon'. That is just we are going to, or we are gonna, we're gonna. But that's shortened even more, and we gon'. So instead of saying we're going to be late, you can just say we gonna be late. We gonna be late. And this works with not only we, but you, they. Instead of saying, you're going to love it. You're going to love this movie. You gonna love it. You gonna love it. Instead of saying they're gonna win, they gonna win. So what have we learned today? Gonna is already like slang for some people. Well, the way Speed says it is even more reduced and even more slang. When we're talking about ourselves, I'm gonna, we can just say I'ma be late. When we talk about anyone else, he, she, it, they, we use gon'. He gonna be late. She gonna be late.
Forgot about her. Where's she at?
I don't know though.
Bro, nigga.
I think she's not.
This is a very, very interesting way of asking where someone or something is in Speed's version of English. Instead of asking, where is she? He says, where's she at?
Where's she at?
Where's she at? And this works for any where question. Where is she is the standard English phrase. But what does Speed do? First of all, he drops the be. And we already learned that earlier. You can just drop that is. You can drop that are. So instead of where is she, he says where's she? But at the end, and this is very typical for African American English, we actually put an at. We put that at the end for extra emphasis. Where's she at?
Where's she at?
So now, how would you say in Speed's English, where are my shoes? Remove the are, add the at. Where my shoes at? Where my shoes at? How would you say, where is the party? Where the party at? Hey, where the party at? You might call your friend and say, instead of where are you, where are you at? Where are you at? And that is very common in the UK now too. You go to London, people always ask, where you at? Yo, where you at? I'm gonna show you another example of Speed doing the exact same thing now.
Where the cars at?
There.
Over here.
Look, follow me.
Where the cars at? Where the cars at? So instead of where are the cars, that would be the standard phrase. He says, where the cars at? Where the cars at? So you know now when you ask the location of something, where something is, you can actually just remove the be, add an at the end. Yeah? Where the cars at? If you're enjoying this video, I'm gonna ask you, where's your like at? Where's your like at? Where's your subscribe at? Have you left a like and a subscribe? Make sure you do that, yeah? Where's your comment at? The final clip, the 10th clip I have for you today. Let's check it out together.
Jacob, why did you lie to me? I asked you a simple question, Jacob.
Yeah, no?
I asked you a simple question. Is this scary? You said no. And now I got piss in my pants. Cause of you, bro.
Did you notice something? In standard modern English, we say ask. And I asked you a simple question. Sk. But it is common with African American English speakers, with Caribbean English speakers, and even Old English. So like if you go back a couple hundreds of years, you will hear people saying ax, or the American ax.
I asked you a simple question, Jacob.
So it's not ask, it's ax. The S and the K actually flip. There is a swap of these two sounds, which is actually called metathesis, but that's just a complicated language term, and that works for the past tense too. As Speed said, I asked you a question.
I asked you a simple question, Jacob.
I asked you a simple question. And in the UK, some people do this too. Ask. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? I asked you a simple question. Asked. So you will find English speakers that say ask instead of ask, that say ax instead of ask. It's common, it's to be expected, and it's a feature of English. So there you go, there you have it. Today we did a breakdown of IShowSpeed's real life English along with some pronunciation. We practiced the phrases, we compared them to the standard English, and I hope you learned something today. What you learn in the English classroom and in textbooks is not typically what you will find in the real world and in real life. And Speed is a shining example of that right there. Alright everyone, that is the end of the video. Please, please, please let me know if you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and definitely let me know who I should analyze next. Whose English we should analyze and break down in the next episode. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.